gonna do a little bit more than I normally do on the ground lesson. I'll go over some of the anatomy of the E-foil just so you guys can see that. But then what we'll do is you guys will head out, me and Tracy will head out, and then what I'm going to do initially is I'm just going to do speed run by. So that's the first thing. So I'm going to do on setting 1. You guys can see how fast setting 1 looks. Setting 2, setting 3, setting 4. But once we get to 8 or 9, it's going to be too fast. So we'll end up cutting it out. So we'll end up going to like 8 or 9, and kind of just, you can say that looks safe. That, I mean, it's objective right now, and we can get a speedometer out if we want to. And I have my watch, so I can tell you what the actual speeds are post we do this. But the big thing is just objectively looking at that. That looks safe. That doesn't look safe. Or X, that's definitely not safe. And then once we get into doing the lesson, you can kind of make your notes. What you see might be safe, might be unsafe, what looks good, what doesn't look good, but just kind of taking notes and observations. So those are just all the power settings. And the other E-foil platforms, they have very similar ones. It's just the scale may be longer or shorter, and then we can adjust it to that. There's only 3 like major big E-foil brands, and like the 2 of them, Waydo and Flight, they really don't have a presence here in Atlanta. There's a couple people that have them, but they're not really that as popular as say Liftoff. So
typically,
is that good?
Yeah.
What speed do you need to get up on plane?
Like for instance, today with Tracy, I'm gonna start her at 3. So normally I start people with 3 or 4 during lessons. Heavier people I'll put on 4 just because they need that extra speed to get up, kind of helps them. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get up to foil on 1 or 2. I've actually never tried that before, so you guys are gonna be an experiment for everybody. So we'll see what happens. But normally I do start people off on 2. I've had some really, really light people. Like I had this little Instagram girl that weighed like 70 pounds, and so she was low.
Is that the setting or the speed?
That's just the setting, the two power speed. So I start her at 2, and that's the lowest I've ever started anybody. I've never started anybody at 1 except for my kids. My kids out in Mary Alice, I put the little what do you call it, the blowfish on there, and they don't foil, but they'll just get the remote and they kind of zing around like a little Zodiac.
What's the maneuverability, Jason? Like, I mean, speed doesn't really. I mean, speed's one thing, right? But if you can't get out of the way of somebody, right? And it's all different kettle of fish.
Yes and no. So I mean, the big thing is you'll see how maneuverable I am, and you'll see how and again, Tracy, come on up. So you get to tell everybody. Have you ever foiled before?
No.
Have you ever e-foiled before?
No.
So you've never done this before?
No.
So you're gonna see in a minute how maneuverable.
Expect a scandal.
Wait, does she weigh more than 70 pounds?
Ah, Dad, don't ask women their weight. Don't ask women their weight. But so the maneuverability is just like anything else. The maneuverability goes up as you gain skill, and especially with these wings. Like right now, these are fighter jet wings, so these are probably gonna be the most maneuverable. As you get to these high aspect wings are more glidey, and the glidey ones are gonna be a little bit harder to turn, nice big wide turns, but these are gonna be very maneuverable. And again, as you get your balance, you're gonna be even more maneuverable. But the big thing is, the concerns I hear about, hitting people and running into people, it's like that. I mean, it's a little exaggerated because you understand what your perspective is. You're on a foil. These are either 28 inches or 32 inches long. So I'm 2.5 feet, 3 feet above the water, looking out. Nobody's trying to hurt anybody. We're just trying to have a good time and float and dance. So again, I see everything that's coming my way all the time. And again, it's the same thing. We had a wing foil. I don't know if you guys saw that horrible accident. My very good friend Al, who's actually down here at the dock doing pump lessons with us, he actually got hit by a pontoon boat on Lake Lanier, and he was wing foiling like this. And so again, it's one of those things, like when we see boats, we get far away from them. We see people, foilers avoid those things. Like we don't want that. And so, hey baby. So for maneuverability, that kind of does that. I hope that addresses that a little bit. But then also just kind of piggybacking on the visual and stuff like that. And you guys. I mean, I'll do that for you too. I can do that on all the settings. So, I mean, there's obviously going to be a little bit of momentum, and we'll talk about the safety zones and where you kind of get off. But it's not long. I mean, well, no, it floats, but there'll be a little bit of maybe 2, 3, 4 foot gauge. And again, the faster you go, the more momentum you have. So yeah. It's 6:09. Any other questions, real quick? I love them. Throw them at. Let's go. What else we got? All right, think about some more.
Only other question I have,
Yeah.
how long is this going to take approximately?
So, we have it scheduled from 6:30 to 7:30 on the lake, so that's where we start a little early so we can get a little Q&A in, do the ground lesson, kind of get some intro on these, and then we'll be out there for about an hour, and then we'll come back in, and I said on Facebook I'll stay here afterwards if there are any other questions, debrief, things you guys want to talk about. If you want to go back out, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I'll stay afterwards for any questions like that as well. So
if we have another commitment and we don't want to go out because it's going to be a problem.
No, you just took somebody else's spot. I'm just kidding.
That's my
No, it's okay. It's okay. Like I said, we have Zach here. Zach's going to be documenting everything. So again, folks that maybe don't make it to the dam weren't here. We had a bunch of people that signed up for last week that they're out of town on vacation. They didn't make it. So we're going to have it documented so everybody can see it. Like I said, I expect like a full, robust discussion about this. And again, I don't think by any means this is going to be an easy thing. We're trying to do everything the right way. And again, safety first. It's actually really fun. One of my favorite things to do on Lake Lanier, and maybe one day here is we go out when it's morning, and the amount of wildlife and things that you sneak up on is amazing. You're just going out there, you're just zenning out. It's so quiet and silence. It's just like this glass in the morning, and big fish, birds, everything. It's just a really awesome nature experience. So we got the e-box data cable. Battery, e-box, and data cables. The mast, front wing, back wing, and that's pretty much a foil.
How much does that cost?
So the Lift 5, they're just coming out, are $14.5. So it's like a jet ski, but only not a one-trick pony. You can do a whole lot more with it. Super fun. So now what I'm gonna do is, I kind of told you guys a little bit. Now I'm gonna kind of shift into teaching mode. So I'm gonna start doing my ground lesson with Tracy. So I'm gonna pretend you guys aren't here and just kind of go through everything. And then once we get done with that, everybody's gonna jump on the boats, head out there. Me and Tracy will slowly make our way out there. I'm gonna do some speed runs at the various speed settings I got there, and then we'll jump into the lesson as well. Sound good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Here we go. All right, Tracy, you ready for your lesson? Awesome. So the way I do the EVO lessons, we basically have 3 parts. We're gonna start on our belly, then we're gonna work to our knee, and eventually stand. And so each one of those has a very specific part to going. Now, before we get started, a couple things I want to show you. On your board, when you get up standing going, you will fall. Falling is learning, it's part of the fun. And most people, do you know if you're regular or goofy footed? Which foot do you like to put forward if you're doing stuff? Your left foot? Yep, same here. So you're regular like me. So you're gonna put your left foot here. So come up here, Tracy. So eventually when you start standing, I'm gonna review all this later, but your left foot is gonna go here and your right foot is gonna go back here. We don't want your foot to go past this right here, just for safety reasons. Too much weight in the back is gonna make you go up pretty high. So when you fall, most people fall, when they fall heel side, which is here. So when you do that, you're gonna fall with the e-foil like this and just go back. So the green places to fall, the back of the foil, the side of the foil. What you don't want to do is be a hero and you fall this way and jump over that way, because you see what's waiting for you on the other side, and that's no bueno. So nobody wants to do that. So whenever we fall, we're always falling back or to the back or to the side. We also don't want to go off the front, because as we mentioned earlier, there's a little bit of momentum with these. If we jump off the front, there's a good chance we might get hit by the board. So the green spaces are here and here. During our lesson today, we look at the mast right here. So the Lift logo right here, I consider the Lift logo and everything up low foil. We're gonna be staying at low foil today. We may go mid foil here, which is pretty fun, but if you hear me say mid foil, just realize I want you to go back down to low foil. This right here is high foil. We're gonna stay away from that. That takes a lot of balance. Later on, when you get better, you'll be doing some high foil and it's super fun. So that's kind of our quick little intro to the board and the areas. Any questions so far?
Nope.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we always keep the power off. These remotes float. So we always keep our finger off the trigger. When we get into the water, you're gonna enter.
With you when you're in the water?
I'm sorry?
Carry that with you when you're in the water?
Absolutely, yes. Waterproof, floats, all good. But you're not here. I know, I'm just kidding. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come up to the back of the board, you're gonna grab both handles and pull yourself up. When you pull yourself up, we're always in Superman. We don't get anywhere near this. We don't rest our feet on there. We don't put our toes or anything near the prop. We're just always floating straight out. And it's kind of, you have to be really intentional to get in there. Like it's so far down. It would be awkward to get anything there. You shouldn't be anywhere near the prop. All right, so you're gonna pull yourself up, and the first stage is gonna be our belly stage. I call it the water bug stage. So what you're gonna do is these things want to go up. They want to fly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the handles, pull ourselves up, and you're gonna be right here. What I want you to do is physically grab the front of the board just like this. So you're gonna grab right in front of that lift logo, that front of the board. And what I like to do is I like to use my elbow as kind of a lever. And so as you accelerate, it's kind of like you ever drive a stick, pat your head, rub your belly, it's gonna be like that. So as you slowly accelerate, the board's gonna start popping up like this, and we wanna get our weight forward. Two most important things when you're learning this: consistent speed and a level board. And that's what these first 2 lessons are gonna be about, is getting that board level and getting that speed consistent, so we get rid of all the other variables. You're gonna be working about your balance and some other things, so if we can just get rid of speed, it's gonna make everything a lot easier. So what we're gonna do is, as you grab the board and accelerate, you're gonna pull yourself forward like this. And literally, and you're gonna bring your feet up just like this out of the water. So I wanna see your toes dance in the air like this. You're gonna pull yourself forward just like this. And as you do it, that board is gonna go, and it's gonna level out. You're gonna feel it release. You're gonna be like a water bug. It's gonna go, you're gonna start going around like a water bike. Lean left, lean right, just have some fun with it, and keep that trigger all the way down. It's gonna be a nice low setting. This goes from 1 to 15. We're gonna have you at 3, and so you're gonna be able to take it all the way down, and it won't be too fast. You're just gonna lean.
So you have like it's like regulated for me.
Yeah. And I'll show you that. I'll show you that in the governor setting. So I always set the speed. You just worry about the power. So you're gonna have it all the way down, lean left, lean right, get used to the speed. Once you feel good, and we'll be talking on the BB Talking. So in case anybody didn't see, sorry, we have headsets where we're gonna be talking to each other the entire time. So you're gonna hear everything I say. So when you're ready, you say, all right, Jason, I'm ready to come to my knees. When you come to your knees, what you're gonna do, come over here. If you come over here and you see this lift logo right here. So before, you were grabbing the front of the board like this, right? So what you do is just slide your hand back, and I want you to give that lift a big high 5. So what we're gonna do is, you're gonna be like, zzz, Jason, I'm ready to come to my knees. I'm like, all right, put your hand in that lift logo and literally push down on the front of the board, boom, boom, just like this. And I want you to look down and spot your knees. I want you to put your knees right here on the front of this buckle right here. Now I'm gonna watch what the board does, and I may move you forward or backwards based on how I see the board responding. Because the big thing is, as I mentioned, the board wants to come up. So we want to get our weight forward, to keep that down and keep it nice and level. So if I see it kind of wanting to foil, I may tell you to move forward. And more than likely, I will probably have you move forward, because that's where I put like normal people, so you probably will end up moving a little bit forward. So then what you're gonna do is you're here like this, and once I see the board, you're gonna take your hand and kind of push yourself up like this, and when you're ready, you're gonna come up to your knees, completely upright like this, with your butt separated from your ankles, and there's a reason for that. So you're just like this with a slight lean forward, and that board's gonna be flat. Again, trigger all the way down, lean left, lean right, just having fun, getting used to the speed. Kind of make sense? We're kind of going. Now, you're gonna get your first taste of foiling and kind of using your body. So when you're ready, I want you to take your butt and move it right back towards your ankles. And what I don't want is, I don't want you to do like a bubble butt, because we're not at the club. We're gonna use our whole body. Everybody would laugh at that. I do that in my lessons, everybody laughs. But anyway, no bubble butt. So we're gonna take your whole thing and shift back like this. We're doing micro adjustments. What we don't wanna do is sit way back like that, because that's gonna take a big weight shift. You're gonna go flying up, flying down, you're gonna fall up, no big deal. You just get back on. But if we do nice little micro adjustments, just a little bit like this, the board's gonna start coming up. And I want you to freeze like a statue and go, oh, and then lean back forward. So you're gonna go up to low foil and then right back down. Call it touch and go, just up, back down. And you're gonna keep on, you're gonna do that a few times, and you're gonna start adding a second. 1 second, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You're gonna start feeling, just repping it out like we do anything else, just practicing. Once you can hold that for 5 to 10 seconds, then we're gonna be ready to stand up. So you're literally just gonna be sitting here like this, come back, you're gonna feel yourself flying, and you're gonna slowly lean forward. When you lean forward, that's gonna bring the board back down. You're gonna touch safe, and I call that reset or safe. So when you come back to the water, just reset nice and safe. Make sense? All right, and I'll model all this stuff in there as well, so you don't feel like you have to memorize this. When we're ready to stand up, as I mentioned before, your initial placement is, I want your front foot here and your back foot back by the buckle, but not behind it. We don't want to go behind it. Now, eventually, some people, especially have any board sport. Do you have any board sport experience?
Windsurfing.
Yeah, so windsurfing. So you might find, like after we get going, you may find your feet migrating, because that's what your muscle memory tells you. Go ahead and do it, whatever's comfortable for you. But I start everybody out nice wide base, both horizontally and vertically, just to have a nice wide base, kind of feel the balance. But again, people that have any board sport experience, they eventually start moving their feet around, and they kind of get to where they're comfortable. Okay. So feel free to do that. So it's time to stand up. We're gonna do the same thing again. So we're here, high 5. We're coming up to all 4, and again, we're on 4s. We want to make sure that our butt is separated from there, like we're truly on all 4. And then we're going to come up like this, boom, boom. It's time to stand up. We're going to have our hand here. Now, this is the key to be intentional. This is why these BB Talkers are so good, because I'm going to warn you. Before I use the BB Talking, I'd always tell people, be the exception. Because if I told you right now, Jason, stand up, I'm going to stand up like this. Where's all my weight? It's in the back. What's going to happen to the board? It's gonna shoot up, right? So we gotta be very intentional and go against our kind of primary response of how we regularly stand up. So what you're gonna do is, I'm gonna be in your ear. I want your head down and your butt up. That's gonna prevent you from going back. So you're gonna bring your foot up here, boom. And if you need to, you can kind of crawl it up like this, but keep that 3-point stance, just like your lineman in the NFL. You're gonna be like this, pushing down. And the weight that's on your hand, you're gonna transfer that foot, nice heavy Donkey Kong stomp. Slowly look, now watch what happens. My head's down and my butt's coming up. This is gonna prevent my weight from going backwards. So my butt's up like this. I'm slowly coming up, and I'm here and I'm standing. I'm touching the water. And so now, hands down, lean left, lean right, just having fun, getting used to the balance. And then again, Same thing, once you feel ready, we're gonna start foiling. Same thing on our knees, but this time, there's multiple ways you can do it, but the big thing is we're just trying to get a little bit of weight off the front just to get the front of that board kind of popping up. So what we can do, you can bring your toes up. This is kind of a nice visual for people. Just kind of rock back with your toes like this, and that's gonna bring some weight off. You're gonna come up, again, freeze, I'm coming up, and then boom, put it back down, and you're just gonna come right back down. And we're just gonna rep it out. So it's gonna be 1 second, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and that's gonna be that. And once you get to that, you're actually what I call the shut up point, because I talk a lot. That's where I get to shut up. So you're just repping it out. So once you get to that, you just have fun, kind of get that muscle.
Get that far.
No, you will. No, you will. You will. So that when you get to that, you just repping it out and get that muscle memory back. So you can also, another way you can do it, you can also shift your hips. So shift your hips, get your weight off the front, physically lifting your foot like this does it as well. So there's a million ways to skin a cat, and this is again one of those examples. So whatever you want to do, the big thing is come back here. I just like this one for beginners, and then eventually you learn how to shift your hips and stuff like that. Any questions?
Not until we get out there and you have to tell me what to do all over again.
Yeah, no, and that's what I do, we rep it out. So what we're gonna do is you and I are slowly gonna go out there. I'm gonna do the speed things, and then I'm gonna demonstrate the first 2 steps, the belly and the knees, and then you're gonna do it. And then once you get that down, we can either refresh on standing up, or you can just go ahead and do it. And like I said, I'll be near, I'll be able to walk you right through it. Right now we're at Mary Alice Park. I'm getting ready to jump in the water. We're gonna kind of repeat it. Do 1 through probably 7 or 8. I think once we get to 8, everybody's gonna see it's gonna be too fast. So, but we'll end up doing some big speeds there, just so everybody can kind of see, get an idea of the speed. Number 1, I'm not gonna be able to get up, but I'll do it. This is 1. I can't even foil on it.
Hi, Daddy.
Hey, buddy. Number 1. So here's 2.
Hi,
I
Dad.
still can't really foil right now, so I'm way down. So this is 3. I can finally foil at power 3, so this is 3.
Hello.
Hello. 4 without falling. Here's 4 without falling. 4.
You have fall.
Now we're 5. 5.
Oh, I want to get fall. I want to
Like 15 or something?
6.
Fall. 6. Fall.
So that's probably...
Now we're cruising. 7. So this is normally my cruising speed right here. This is pretty normal right here.
Action.
So those were all the little speed trials that we did. The big thing is, even with all the speed trials, I had the trigger all the way down. I rarely do that. Normally I ride anywhere between 7 and 10, and I usually just toggle the trigger. I'd say my average speed when I'm going around, just cruising, is somewhere between 9 and 12 miles per hour, which is again right in line with wing foiling. I normally ride between 7 and 10, but again, we never have it all the way down. We're not racing on Lake Windward. This is an elegant dance. We're just trying to foil around, have some fun, get some recreation, get a little exercise. So I don't see any reason for anybody to ever be maxed out on 7. I think 7 would be the highest setting, and I don't see any reason for us to have the trigger all the way down on that one. But just to be able to take our e-foils, go on Lake Windward, and just kind of cruise around, enjoy the aesthetics, enjoy the feeling of flying around, and get a little exercise would be pretty sweet. But always safety, safety, safety first. We always want safety first.
And the last thing we have before the ending discussion is the e-foil lesson that took place on Lake Windward. So basically what we did is Jason and Tracy got in the water, and as you can see here, you walk in until you get to a point where the foil won't hit the ground. You flip it over. Then we have a brief discussion just about what we're going to be doing in the next 30 minutes, and then we just start cruising out there. So as you can see right here, Tracy and Jason are cruising out. He's wearing a headset so he can talk to Tracy and let her know everything's going on, what is going on. Right now, he's just letting her know to be on your stomach, and then as you can see here, she's going up to her knees, which is the next step, and from there, she's going to keep both hands on the front of that board to make sure to keep it down, because in this game, if you lean forward, you stay on the water. If you lean back, you start to foil. So as you can see, she's in that position where she is just now starting to lean back, and as you can see, the foil goes up, and she just got her first taste of foiling that quick. And so here you can see again, she's getting up onto her knees, then she goes to that shoulders up, upright position on your knees. You ride around like that for a while, and as you can see, she's absolutely crushing it. And Jason is out there doing exactly what he needs to do, which is just coach her along. And you can see she's going from her straight up and down on her knees to all fours, and then just back and forth, and she's just getting a hang of that the foil. You lean back, the foil starts to go up, you lean forward, it goes, it stays on the water. And then as you can see, HOA's out here enjoying the views, getting to experience the foil lesson, and then boom. So she was able to stand up. Basically what you do is you put one hand on the front, you do not take that hand off, you stand up, and then you slowly take that hand off of the board so you don't end up taking off, because you will, if you lean back too far, you will end up going up in the air. And we were able to get her up in the air. We didn't have any video of it, unfortunately, because she was way far away when she was able to foil. But I'm sure if the next time she goes out, she'll be foiling around very easily. But yeah, that's as fast as it goes. Basically like 30 minutes and you're up and riding like she is. And then it's just getting used to getting up on the foil, which is, I guess you could call it level 3. Which is of foiling. But yeah, so just take some time, check out these last few clips. As you can see, Jason went ahead and just for some fun threw his son on the front of the board, just to show how, family friendly and fun this is. But yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments and whatnot. But that's the e-foil lesson. Tracy did an amazing job, and just, yeah, let us know. Taking one with you, which I don't think you would do after this trip.
Tracy Morton. I am a long-term Windward resident. I'm also a local real estate agent here in Alpharetta. And I had the pleasure of demoing how to ride a hydrofoil with Jason Burton. And Jason has these hydrofoils available, which are amazing. I'd never ridden one before, and I was up on this thing in 30 minutes. It was so much fun. And he also has these awesome pontoon boats here in Windward that you can rent and enjoy this amazing resource that we have right here in Alpharetta, Lake Windward. And if you're watching this and you live in Windward, all of this is available to you. So check out Jason and the boats here at the marina.
Any questions? Anything? You guys want to, I guess you guys kind of debrief on your own, but you guys have anything else for me or for Tracy?
It's not a. What?
How long the batteries last? Oh, that's a good one. My wife and I actually wanted to bring that up to you guys. So the new batteries on about 90 minutes. That's for someone who weighs 170 pounds. Like Tracy, Tracy's so light. She I think she only used like 20% of the battery.
Okay, got it.
Because she's like way under 170. Yeah. So like, again, most people will ride. Like back when I weighed 200, I would get 60 minutes, like 14 miles on it out on Lake Lanier. Okay. Now I'm like 189 this morning. So now I'm probably up to the 1 hour and 20 minutes. So it incentivizes you to lose weight. The more weight you lose, the longer ride you get. So, but yeah, the batteries do have a finite amount of time. They charge about 60 minutes or so.
Do you get a warning?
Sorry?
You get a warning? You get a warning?
Yeah. So I always tell people when I do lessons, because the big thing with lithium potassium batteries is you don't want them to zero out. It'll kill the battery. And so I always tell my everybody to get out at 0.5%. That gives you plenty of buffer. But on its own, once it's below 50%, it gears down. You can't even get up to 4. And then 10% it gears down again. 5% gears down even more. So like even warning. So gear down.
Limping home.
I swear to God, he's like this. It's something about this. He is.
So how do you do it? Yeah, well, so like I said, like you guys asked me to do 15, like I did the thing, but what's like on that lowest weight usage, I said 7, and so I think I was on 8 at one time, but nobody's like Nobody does 15. It's gonna burn all you.
But if you're saying it's 7, how do you please control that?
Well, it's the same thing as anything else. I mean, I don't have a good answer to that other than visually what we saw. We see somebody cruising around, it looks appropriate. If you see somebody zipping around, that's inappropriate. And again, the big thing is, as we have this conversation, having the Windward stickers on there so we know who's on what boat or on what e-foil. And again, we can get, I'll speedometers, I don't care. If we really want to track people, but
Why
I think
can't
the
they
big
just make a battery that only goes to 6 or 7?
well, they don't really have governor safety settings like that. But I mean, part of like that, the lake proposed usage that I kind of wrote out for everybody is I don't mind being the kind of the gatekeeper. And like right now with Lyft and some of the other companies, we're creating wider certification programs. So it's kind of reciprocal, like all over the world. So if somebody, like if one of you guys go, like Ed, where's Ed? If Ed goes down to Grand Cayman, and I got a buddy Riley down there. If he wants to go and ride an e-foil down to Grand Cayman, he goes, yeah, I ride with Burton and he's certified, so he'll let you use, so you can just take it out and go. And so having that rider certification program is kind of what we're working on. And so I do the same thing here. Like anybody that wants to get an e-foil, if we choose, we vote or whatever, I can be the gatekeeper. Everybody has an introductory. They have to do an introductory class, no cost. When we kind of go through the introduction, they sign an agreement of our lake rules and stuff like that, what they're going to do, what they're not going to do, and we have consequences. If you're going too fast, you're off the lake for a week. Again, you're off for a month. 3 times you're banned. You can't do it anymore. And again, understand that safety is always the number one thing.
Is the controller programmer going to the speed limits?
No, not now. I mean, but again, it's something that could trick you. I mean, we could program it, but you guys wouldn't. That's the thing. It's just like anything else on the lake. It's on the honor system. I think we definitely, if we're that concerned, I would happily invest in like a little speedometer. If Ed wanted to volunteer because he's kind of central, he can even help keep track of that stuff. Yeah,
Be there all day.
I don't
like to speak.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I think the visual, the qualitative view of what we see is, I mean, you guys kind of saw once I started going too fast. And you guys, I mean, did everybody notice that? Like when I was at 3, 4, 5, and once I got into 6 or 7, you're like, oh, he's got it cooking now. And so for me, I think 7, my personal experience, is fast enough for anybody. And even when I'm at 7, like earlier when I was cruising around Tracy, I was at 8. But I never had it all the way on. I was kind of cruising. If I needed to catch up to her, I'd give myself a little boost. But I never had it all the way down.
And it falls.
So.
Did you have it? You're not a teenager.
I had it at 4.
Wait, what?
You're not a teenager drinking
And I
beer.
didn't like.
Yeah, I did too.
Well, I tell you what, I guarantee you, when I was 18, if I'd had
When
one
I
of those
fell
things,
off,
I would have had a lot of time with the
hurt.
maximum possible speed.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'd be
I
surprised.
mean, I had motocross bikes and I was jumping and flying.
Yeah. And
That's enough bikes,
that's
man.
what you think these things haven't caught on with.
They did.
Which is, it's a crazy thing. They just haven't caught on with it. But I mean,
Yeah,
and for the youth kids, I mean, but again, it'd be the same thing as what we talk with adults. Like, and the big thing with me, especially if this, depending on what happens, moving forward, I don't mind taking a leadership role and doing that. And again, it's just like when I was a teacher, I've run programs. I've been in leadership roles before, and like again, people come through this, they're going to be put through the ringer. Like this is something that I know I want and a lot of other people want, and so we don't want to ruin it. We don't want anybody to get hurt. We want to make sure it's sustainable, and we want to make sure it's safe. And all those things they'll be done under my watch. I don't care if a kid is 15, 16, or we just set age limits as well. Our personal insurance, I can't give less than anybody 12 or under. 12 and up is there, and anybody that's 12 to 18, I require a helmet and life jacket, which is mandatory. Once you're 18 above, it's up to you. But again, this is our private lake. We can make our own rules. We can say everybody required a helmet, whatever we want. But the big thing is, I think this is very, very manageable. I don't think this is something where people are going to be out, making dirt traps in the cul-de-sac.
Well, we worry about with our pocket pumps.
Yeah.
But then there's no way for you to.
Well, that'll be the stickers, right? That'd be the stickers.
So you have to have a method for checking stiffness, basically.
Well, I mean, I think it's just mandatory. Like again, that be part of my checklist. And again, this is a fluid document. It's a fluid conversation. So you say, Jason, these like, if I was to like hypothetically, like, say, Jason, I was going to be, this is what I would want in play. I'm like, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. And so again, it's one of those things. Before that e-foil even hits the water, I have to get confirmation from IMG or whoever that they've been registered and they have a number. Yeah. And that number, and they'll tell me, IMG will tell me the number, and I'll make sure it matches. And then we'll do our whole intro. I'll go out with them. I'll show them the coves. You do not stand up in the coves. You stay in this main area.
Yeah.
We can even do time restrictions.
Well, I mean, that works fine for somebody who's wanting to get introduced to it and then, go onto the lake through that process. But somebody who lives over in Milton or whatever and says, that lake's over there. And I know we have people come in here and they drop their kayaks in, they drop their fishing boat, little tiny boats in.
Yeah.
And so we're not really able to keep people from doing that. Pontoon boats, that works pretty well because that's part of pretty,
Yeah.
We know that not many people are trying to come in here and launch a big old boat like that. We had a couple of those cases too.
Yeah.
So, but when somebody's out there with a kayak, it's like, well, okay, somebody's using our lake for free. But when you've got somebody who's on a vehicle that can go 30 miles per hour,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother element of, it's not just they're using our lake for free.
Yeah.
Which, what is that
They're
really?
creating a safety
But
hazard.
they could be a safety hazard. And so the question would become, how would we deal with?
Well,
Yeah,
you
and I
had
think
brought up something before about having reservations. So,
Yeah.
if there's 4 people and who's guy number 5,
Well, yeah,
that's not.
I take two things then. I take a step back first
Yeah.
and say, like, it sounds like we have a foundational problem with people illegally using our lake.
Yeah.
And so rather than ostracize the e-foilers and restricting our residents from doing that because non-residents use kayaks, you need to come up with some sort of infrastructure. We have a checks and balances. I'm here all the time. I don't feel it's my place to say thing, but I could have caught probably 50 people by now as much time as I spend down here.
Yeah.
Because I don't see the stickers.
And it's not here at 9 o'clock at night.
And it's including the triathletes that they come up. They're all sitting there. And one time it was funny. Like I was just making a conversation. I wasn't like, again, I'm not the enforcer, but I was just making a conversation. Like, so I asked, so you guys live around here? And you should see me like that wasn't what I was trying to do. I was just making friendly conversation.
Well, they don't.
So I think before we group the e-foilers into that group, I think we need to address all PWC flat and come up with the checks and balances. And then what Julie said is, again, on that document that I created, I took a lot of time and effort to do that. Where, like, again, we decided the carrying capacity of the lake. People were concerned about it being too small. So we decided, hey, only 5 e-foilers at a time, and you have to register for 10 to 11 or whatever. And so we know that Jason and Billy and Bob are on the lake from 10 to 11, so we know who they are. And so if we see somebody else, we know that out there. So either myself or we can have another designated person say, hey, man, go over here, you have a lake, take the name down. And again, but that's the infrastructure stuff that you guys got to kind of figure out. Because again, to me, that's a bigger issue than E4. Was that
we just hired some
athletes,
put a boat on the lake with a hire a security guard company, put a boat on the lake. Take care of it.
That's expensive.
Speed gun too. Well,
and a speed gun,
yeah.
Speed gun. Now, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we don't need that. I don't know if we need that bad.
But if but you talk about people going on a lake, like Ferris, I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago, and I was at a party in Big Canoe.
Yeah.
And I was just chatting with some guy. I didn't even know who he was. And then started talking about how we got on the topic, maybe got triathlon. It's probably one of those guys in that group.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, yeah, every Saturday morning we drive down. This in Jasper.
Oh, yeah.
And he drives down to Lake Windward, and they swim the length of the lake from back. And oh, that's interesting.
I know.
Which I mean, it's those things where I'm like, dude, if you're gonna drive that far, I mean, I guess I'd have a hard time. I mean, it's like,
did I really care? No, but I'm thinking, well, that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, and again, that's where we have to decide where we're gonna plant our flag and where we're gonna fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you let one person do it, you gotta let everybody do it. And I'm not saying we should let everybody do it. I think we
don't have to let everybody trespass just because somebody did.
Right. Exactly. And so having a checks and balances in place, I think would be good for everything. You know what I mean? So I think regardless of what happens with people on our lane, I think this is it's a good thing to get the stuff started.
Yeah, that's okay. Speed numbers.
Well, so if everybody wants to hear this real quick, so Prasad asked you the same question I think that Georgia did. You guys are asking me for a speed correlated with the power number. Now, again, with physics and stuff like that, speed, power and weight equals speed.
Yeah.
So it's variable.
Yeah.
I can never give you that because everybody's weight, like Tracy, like she was killing it out there. She was super light.
Companies advertise they can go 30 miles per hour, and the fastest one I've seen can go 40.
Which brand was that?
I don't. It was an ad.
Racing.
Said, new board.
Yeah, that might be the Audi one. It might not even be here. So I know that Lyft has the most powerful engine and E-foil out there, and we advertise it.
Yeah.
Well known. We're like the Ferrari of all E-foils.
Yeah.
And we max out at 30.
Okay.
I don't know.
30, right.
I don't know if any
So it gives you
goes to 40. But as far as like I said, again, the speed we could never correlate with a number. That's why I did 7. And even at 7, I don't ever have it fully.
Because the weight of the person.
It's gonna dictate the speed. So like when I do a lesson, I've had a guy, I've had people all the way up to 250 pounds take a lesson. And so I started Tracy on 2. A 250 pound guy, I start him.
Yeah, he's
So his 5 equals 2. You know what I mean?
and he's not getting to 30 miles an hour.
Right.
Are there any brand considerations? Like, would there be brands that would just be substandard that you wouldn't want to allow?
Filming him.
No, so the big thing is Flight and Lift are the 2 kind of top tier brands. Although with our new LCS, we kind of separated from Flight. But Waydo is kind of the intro Toyota level. Their board is mostly foam, and they have a little bit of carbon fiber and fiberglass on it. But it's completely climb board. They actually have a self-leveling mechanism and a gyroscope. So it's like super user. Yeah, like that one is so user friendly. Like you got, like all the technique I was teaching Tracy, you guys don't even need. You just that Waydo, you jump on it, it foils and it levels out for you. Like they have pictures of people like jumping around, like sitting on it, sticking their feet out.
As long as they can stay on top of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's
might be a little harder to turn though, right?
No, it fine. It takes the challenge out of learning it, and so some of us kind of look down at our nose at it, but it's user friendly. It gets more people on the wall.
Like training wheels.
There's nothing wrong with it.
All the good surfers look down their nose at the guys with the board.
It's good. You go faster.
That's board's too wide and long.
You had to go learn on the software.
That's what you gotta learn.
Yeah.
So you don't.
Soft top.
Yeah.
Don't come out on my big waves.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know of any brand that's really bad. Kuma had some issues, but they went out of business, and I think they rebranded up in Canada or something like that. They're based out of Canada, but there's no major brand that I ever heard of horrible things. The big thing is that the one thing is in my document as well is we do have folding props. That to me is a huge no-no. That's the folding props are ones that you have the shroud on that and it's covered up. So there's actually a way you can take that off to make it more efficient.
Yeah.
And I would say no to that.
Yeah.
And then you can take it off. You can actually get one that has hinges and folds down to get rid of all of the drag, and so you can get behind boats and surf, and you can surf behind waves. And so again, in my document, I have shrouds are mandatory. You must have a shroud or a jet. You cannot have an uncovered prop, or you cannot have a folding prop.
Yeah.
To me, that's just again back to safety.
Right.
It was interesting. One of the manufacturers that was at your big fest weekend talked about how they had geofencing that you could plug into your
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I think that was Flight. Yeah, Flight. Yeah, Flight has some really good tech.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
All right.
Thanks for coming. Yeah.